All right. It's working. Yay. Good morning, everybody. Wow. Christy, didn't you just say it was March? What is it? March
14th, March
4th?
14th.
What happened? I thought it was like
Yeah.
January 11th. Does anybody else feel the same? Time speeding up. I don't know if there's a scientific term for that, but it feels like, wow, we're moving quickly, which means we're off to a great start with Elevea this year. Our CEO founders on this call has talked about it, some great growth, continued double-digit growth. We're growing internationally as well, which is very exciting. We've got incredible new teams and community joining, thousands upon thousands of new customers, which is so exciting for the company because every growth of this, whether it's in your business or not, supports the overall mission of what we do, which is nourishing children around the world and nourishing people to get healthier. The more people we get healthier, the more people we help choose this in the morning. I'm doing my shake this morning. And just making those small changes can make such a radical difference in the world. And it's a little bit of the theme on today's call, which we'll touch on in a second here. But Chrissy, good morning. You're with me in California. I'm in Arizona. We're on the same time zone. So much fun. What are you excited about for today's call?
Well, I did want to just add what you were just talking about the difference that we make when growth is happening in the company and that it's nourishing children, that it's nourishing people that have health needs. But the other thing that I really think it does is it nourishes our belief that it can happen for the needs in our life as well too. And so as we hear
Mm.
victories, and those victories are going to start increasing more and more and more, you're going to hear more. We're going to celebrate rank advancements more, not only because we're going to get better at celebrating, but there's going to be a lot more of them. They are ramping up. But I want when that happens for you to say, do it again. Let's do it again. That it's a belief in you, right? That it raises that belief level in you, in the power of what we have our hands on and our ability to impact people, like you said, with their health and nourish kids, but also the ability we have to impact people within their homes and in their finances and in the dreams and desires that they have that they may not be able to walk in currently.
Mm. Oh, so beautiful. So, I mean, think of that. That's the vehicle we have that can transform lives. And we're going to touch on a little bit on this concept of the last trait we talked about. We've gone through the 10 traits. I can't even share my screen because I'm on my phone. So ironic on our last one. But we
Love it.
posted it on the Facebook channels. And we'll touch on that in a moment. But I think it talks to the power of this vehicle. It's a reminder of what we have here. We're all kind of partners in this great entity called Alavea. Alavea and Sam and his team creates everything for us. This, apps, this website, the checkout process, develop the products, the packaging, the shipping. They even pay us. They do all of that. We get to just simply go inspire the shift in people's lives, in our own lives. And it's amazing what can happen. I've just got a text message from, I don't know if she's, oh, there you go. Nice. We'll be ready to go when we need to show it. I love the fact that we just surpassed 66 million servings on our
Yes.
last day, leading into kind of finishing up this part of our training for the beginning of the year. But I just got a great message from Mindy from one of the Alabama
Mhm.
pros who's done exceptionally well. Has got a phenomenal team. And just to think you're on vacation and you meet incredible people. And she was talking to a NFL football player. But that's what we have. We have something we can go talk to anybody about. Not everybody will be in the position to hear it or say yes at that particular time, but it's such an inspiring conversation. We can go to everybody about this. We're nourishing people. We're nourishing children. We're making the shift in the world. We're doing this around the globe. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Well, and not only like Mindy proved that you can talk to anyone, but you can talk to anyone anywhere. And so it goes back to the fact that what we do goes with us, and our business goes with us as well too, which is super powerful. So powerful. Well, and our slide today, our final slide, and again, it's been so fun to see how it tees up with exactly where we're at and what we need to talk about. But this is our final slide. Commit to be unrecognizable.
Commit to being unrecognizable.
Yes. And so but what I saw when I saw that wasn't a word that jumped out necessarily, but it was the phrase from a different perspective is not only do we each individually have to commit to become unrecognizable, but what if we decided this year our company is going to be unrecognizable? Like what if we decided like
Mm.
um the agreement that we just crossed over 66 million, but we're getting to 100 at the end of the year. And it's 34 to go. Just like we started today's call off with, we're 47 days from impact. We are 34 million away from 100. And what if we just top that all year long? And as a result, guess what? Our belief is going to change. Our actions are going to move in the direction of our dominant thoughts. And we will, as a company, be unrecognizable. But it takes every single one of us to just
Mm.
dial up that level of belief and dial up the commitment to what am I willing to walk in to be unrecognizable. And you're going to laugh at this. And so will everybody on this Zoom. Literally last night, I was like, oh, I'm so looking forward to sleeping in this morning. Finally, it's been a really long couple of weeks. And I was just so excited. I told my son, I'm going to sleep in. And all of a sudden I went, no, I'm not. I have our I have our Zoom at 8. And literally I was so excited about it. He's like, I'm so sorry, Mom. Like he felt my pain. So I wake up this morning and I'm like, it's a little bit darker here and the bed was a lot more comfortable. And I like roll over when my alarm goes off and I look at my phone and I'm like, Craig would be fine. Craig would be fine. And he really would be okay with it. And literally, you guys, I turn my notifications back on. Facebook post comes up, and all I see is commit to become unrecognizable. And I was like, boop, out of bed. It was literally like, well, that's the
So
wake up
good.
call. That's literally the
Mm.
wake up call because I can't stay in bed and do what I've always done and be comfortable where I am and be okay with everybody's got it. I'm just going to take a little nap, right? I mean, that's how we all have to walk. Is if I really have a vision inside of me of where how Elevate is going to change me, my community, and then the difference we're going to make around the world, I have to get out of bed. I have to wake up.
Mm.
I have to decide that I'm not going to do things the same. And so if I'm not going to do things the same and get the same result, I have to become unrecognizable. I have to do things that are not my normal to get something that most normal people won't, right? And so I just thought that was
Mm.
so significant today that that phrase was the phrase that was like, get your butt out of bed.
That is so awesome. And I think for everybody listening or listening to the recording, it's a good opportunity to kind of take a second because we went through all these 10 different traits and we told, week by week by week, it wasn't about adapting all of them. It was adapting one or two of them and integrating in your life. But I feel this is a great theme that could uh, adapt for everybody,
Yeah.
and we're a few months into, or we're couple, not a few months, but I guess we're almost a few months into it. Yeah, we're March
Two and a
14th.
half. Yeah.
We're kind of getting into the end of that first quarter of the year. And it is a great opportunity to say, you know what? I'm going to finish off the rest of this year and be that unrecognizable. And it may be, it could be and this is where it's kind of like thinking, what does that mean for you?
Hmm.
How are you going to show up? It could be, I'm getting out of the bed, like Christy just talked about. It could be tied to physical. Maybe you've had an injury or a health issue, or maybe there's just you've been wanting to get into better shape, and it's like, no, this is the year I'm going to be unrecognizable. It could be on your confidence, could be on how you want to your appearance. Maybe you get really excited about saying, I'm going to start showing up differently. My shoulders are back a little bit more. I'm just going to kind of be able to bring in that connection with people. Pick that area. It doesn't have to be just one thing. It can be a couple areas, but find the areas, and maybe if you have some ideas on how you want to show up. For Ann and I, a big part was, we've just been very consistent in our life. And this year we want to be unrecognizable and literally being all over the place. I think what is it, March 14th? We have now slept in, I think it's 19 beds so far this year,
Wow.
kind of living this nomadic lifestyle. I mean, for us, that's a very unrecognizable way of living. But now we're getting out. We're seeing people, not just on Zoom. We're in face to face. We're in people's living rooms and creating contacts and relationships. And we've got a phenomenal new group coming on here in Arizona that are so excited about Alavea. And so we're showing up differently. And usually that's what it takes to have this breakthrough.
Yeah.
It's something that you're going to show up differently. And that's what people recognize. And what I love about it, do you remember, I forget which book it was in, but you've probably read this book years and years ago, but I don't even know if it's a true thing, but remember they talked about how, like, if, crabs in a big bucket down by the marina, they would just leave them open because anytime a crab would try to get out, the other ones are pulling it back in. And it was this metaphor is that as you're moving forward in your life and you're saying, you know what, I want to be there at the top of that mountain. I'm going to start moving there. It's amazing how people around you sometimes get uncomfortable with that. And
Mhm.
they try to pull you back, or in the
Mhm.
metaphor with the crabs will pull you back into the bucket. But there's this concept to be unrecognizable. It's kind of like, I'm still going to love my friends. I'm going to love my family. I'm going to love everyone around me, but I'm starting to move forward,
That's good.
you
So
know.
good. That's so good. And I was thinking as you were saying that, two different things. The first one was, I want to challenge people because we had this conversation on the 5-10K Zoom the other day with the people that are going to Impact about like seeing the lies that have held us back for so long, whether they're lies about ourselves or, our limitations or any of that stuff. And the way we become unrecognizable is breaking through them and actually walking in the truth. And so that's so important. And so as you were talking about the unrecognizable things, I want to caution the people, because it's going to go back to a slide we talked about, that are thinking, I need to be perfect before I can succeed.
Mm,
Because some of the things you said, you're able to walk in the being a nomad and focusing on the things that are growing who you are, and that's your focus because of all the other work you've done before, but you didn't wait to be perfect to do the work, right? And so I think it can, when we talk about this topic of being unrecognizable, sometimes people can almost, it becomes then like an excuse. Well, that's my
mm,
problem because I still have all this work I need to do instead of doing the work as you step out, right? Not waiting to be perfect or for the perfect timing, but like letting it all move forward. So that was one of the things I was thinking of. And then when I encourage people who that crab that's pulling you back in the bucket might be your best friend, it might be your mom or dad, it might be your spouse, but here's the deal. You are lifting the lid for everyone to come out. And so
mm,
so it's don't get what I want to encourage you with is in that it also can be real easy to get, well, I'll show you and get like angry
mm.
or bitter when we actually break free, right? Because in the beginning, you're just getting pulled back down. You're right. I should live small. You're right. This is our situation. You're right. You know what I mean? Like we just get pulled down, pulled down, pulled down. But there becomes a point when your belief rises up greater than the doubters that there
Mm.
can also be this like you can get angry at people and you don't want to get angry at people. You want to get angry at the thing that's kept you in the bucket to begin with. Right. And so then when you're the free crab, you can actually reach your claw down and help other people out.
Mm-hmm.
But since love's in the center of everything we do, your love has to stay in full effect so that when you're free, you can help other people be free too. Right. And so I think that's so important because otherwise we get out and go, sucker, see ya, you know. That's like my butt on fire last week that I said throw out just something that wakes everybody up. But that's the heart sometimes that we're like, well, forget you. But it's not forget your friends, not forget your family, not forget your spouse. But know that I'm walking in freedom and I'm going to stand in the truth and I'm going to move forward for a better future. And they can't see it yet, but one day they'll thank me. And my husband was not the crab pulling me down, but I remember exactly the day when it hit him.
Mm-hmm.
And we were standing on an incentive trip at the restaurant in the Eiffel Tower looking over Paris, and he came up behind me and he just said, Thank you.
Wow.
Just for believing and just for fighting and just for not giving up and just for, there's more and just for, getting back up when you feel beat down or you feel the crab that's trying to take you under. And that's what we have to do is encourage each other in it because your
Hmm.
freedom is freeing to others. You don't get free without a whole bunch of other people
Mm.
receiving freedom as well too and walking in new truth. So
Mm.
I just say as a company, could we all agree? I mean, emoji it up in the chat. Could we all agree we're going to be unrecognizable by the end of the year and we will have nourished 100 million children?
Oh, love. And by the way, you've inspired Glenda. She's all ready to get out of bed, get her butt out of bed earlier at 71. Thanks, 71, and I'll get my butt out of bed earlier each day. I love that. And I love this next part. I'm working on joining people to get together, starting to create that community. And I love that. That's an amazing post. It's so beautiful. I love everything that we get to do. And it is fun. Each week we always say it for some reason, like love is in the center of everything we do. And when we are leading that way, it is amazing how attractive we are.
Mhm.
We're so different. Um, one of the things we talked about last week, I'm going to post it here. This is a little bit of a side angle, but I don't want to forget, is I'm going to post in the chat room. Oh, hopefully I will. Let me see if I can coordinate this from my phone. One of the things we talked about being unrecognizable is a program that we've started that we're very excited about that helps grow customers and helps grow the duplication of the business. So, of course, we can talk to anybody that we want about with Alavea. So Alavea also has a special program for people that are doctors or healthcare professionals or coaches or trainers or athletes called Alavea Pros. If you're new, if you haven't heard about that yet, you can go to alaveapros.com. And it's just something where the company is saying, because you've got this background and you've got influence and you've got a following of people, of patients or clients, we're going to do, you can qualify or you can apply to qualify and be approved. If you are approved, you're being sponsored. No different like how I was sponsored by Wilson and Adidas in tennis. We're sponsoring these people. They become social business partners, but they get some additional benefits. But we get to use their name, image, and likeness. And if you've been to the YouTube channel and the Elevate Pros, there's incredible testimonies. It's so powerful on some of these testimonies and stories. They're so great to be able to share with other people. People are putting here, the pros videos are amazing and totally underutilized resource. I totally agree. It's the best testimonies we got. These people that are have such credibility and they're choosing to support and use Elevate products because they believe in them. Because no one just gets sponsored by a company and just because of the sponsorship, they have to put their name on that company, which means they have to believe in the company. So it's
Yeah.
really huge. But one of the things we're doing is launching a new product for the company. It's a sports-driven product. We talked about it last week. We posted the survey, and guess what, Chrissy? I posted a link that didn't work. So people
Oh,
thought they answered the survey last week. It didn't happen. It was a preview link, so I apologize. So this is tied into Sam Castor talked about the new sports hydration product, electrolyte driven product with Ace Mannon. It's just a couple quick questions. We want to get some of your favorite potential flavors. We want to get what your thoughts on what name that we're down to 5 names. We're down to, we're going to launch with watermelon is going to be the first product. But then we're looking at other product flavors. And then there's one other ingredient we're looking at. We're kind of like 50-50, kind of getting feedback on. So read through that. If you need to Google what that is, Google it and kind of give us your opinion on answering that survey. So there's 3 questions. I think I posted it here. Somebody give me a thumbs up if that worked this time. Hopefully that works in the chat room. So before you get off, yes, please open up that. And again, that's a big part for Ann and I about showing up in 2026 and being unrecognizable or commit to being unrecognizable. If you notice the last little line there, it says by the end of 2026. So I think that concept you
yeah.
said is so important that it's not about waiting to be perfect. It's the work that you do today. It's how you show up differently today. It's how you show up and get out of bed earlier today. It's how you reach out to 2 extra people today. It's, what Ann and I are doing with the pros. you're committing to new levels. We just hired a Alivea Pros communication manager. We're spending money to help grow. But it's all the things we're doing today that by the end of the year, you can like reflect back as we start our 2027 vision. You're going to be like, whoa, I'm showing up. I'm a different person at the end of this year, and my business is in a totally different space. That's when it gets exciting.
So good. And the everything is in motion, and then it's about each individual person getting into motion, getting to action, right? Act, I, on. Like when you're on Saturday trainings, when you're on the Monday Zooms, when you're on the Tuesday love calls, like it's all inspiring, it's all great information, it's equipping and leadership, but it comes down to for it to change you and your community, you have to be in action. You have to act, I, on, right? And so it's going to be really powerful to see as we march to, it's so significant that we're in March as well, finishing this up, right? I always think of this is such a cool month. March 4th is my actual, one of my favorite days because literally it tells us what we do. It's a command, March 4th. But we're in
Mm.
March, like let's march forward, let's march, let's get moving. Um, and I was thinking, we, our I don't know what I want to say because it's not even just a goal, but our encouragement to a brand new customer is to give us 90 days, right? That's our encouragement, like for them to get in new habits, for them to be consistent on products, for the cells to be regenerated, like it's like give us 90 days. And I'm thinking, gosh, what if we looked at this year in those 90-day blocks? And every 90 days you recommit to being unrecognizable. And you say,
Mm.
I'm gonna focus, I'm gonna give it 90 days to be consistent at the habits I'm creating, to have not only my cells regenerate, but my mindsets and my
Mm.
actions and all that stuff. But I can like could you just like decide I can do this for 90 days and I'm not going to look up until the 90 days is over and then we'll regroup. And we're going to talk next week even in greater detail. We've been talking on the Love Zooms that the app has all the information for the Inside Out events for those of you that want to start gathering again, for those of you that know that's where your strength is in building traditionally. But I did one on Friday. So I'm going to be training on that and how it worked and really being able to give people tips and stuff too. But it's like not sitting on the sidelines anymore, you guys. No sitting on the sidelines. Be the key player in your life. Let God
Mm.
guide and direct the steps that he desires for you to take and then get into action. Get into action.
Mm. Oh, that's so powerful. That's so beautiful. Well, I think I'm very excited for next week for everybody. Of course, the app, there were some challenges last year with videos tied into it, but that's all fixed. So we're going to be launching all of the Saturday training videos in the app. Like Chrissy just talked about the Inside Out program, that will all be there. So next week, we're going to go through a little bit more of making sure everybody knows where they can get that. And Chrissy, we can really dive into the Inside Out as well. I think that would be great next week because we have, these 6 weeks as we lead up towards impact. And I think it's a great reminder that what can happen in a short period of time. I
Yeah.
remember, I was asked to come to an event once and it was a couple weeks away and I, really didn't, I was kind of brand new to the whole thing that we were doing. And somebody said, see if you can get someone with you. I thought like this was flying across the country from Canada to California. That who in the world would come with me for that? Well, it turned out somebody did. And it turned out that that person, it kind of changed their life. And because of that, had a significant impact in my own life because they built such a huge business. So you never know. You just might, in the next couple of weeks, maybe it's somebody you're already talking to. Maybe it's somebody you meet in the next 2 or 3 weeks who says, yeah, I'd love to come to Dallas with you. And they meet Sam, they meet this vision, they hear some of the big announcements in Dallas. And that alone could be the, part of that transformational of looking amazing what can happen in a short period of time.
Yeah, I want to echo what you said about inviting someone even at the very last minute. We had the same situation, and it's a lot of money for a flight when you're last minute. Some of you guys live in areas that you can actually drive or get other people to drive with you to impact. But we had the same thing in our business, and it was a significant investment on their part, but same thing. Because we were willing to continue to invite, it changed things for them, and it created something that was so powerful. And so I mean, I believe there's people that are going to do inside out events over the next couple of weeks. And those people that have not heard about Alivea at all are going to come to impact. It is woven deep, the community aspect of who we are in those inside out slide decks. And so there's definitely an invitation that comes to join us in Dallas as well too. So I think it's one of those things is like nobody can come to the party unless you invite them, right?
Mhm.
And so we can have the best party ever, but if you don't invite anybody, you're not going to have any guests. So it's the same thing with your business. It's the same thing with Inside Out. It's the same thing with Impact. It's the same thing with all those things. You have to be the person that's going to invite. And until you do, their answer's no anyways, because they don't know. But if you invite, they have the opportunity to say yes. And it also plants seeds of opportunities as along the way as well too. So it's going to be a powerful 2026.
Yay. Well, this is a powerful week in front of us. Of course, we've got Monday night, our call Monday night at 7:30 Central Time. That one's hosted with Steve. And then you are doing your love call this Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So back to back, Monday and Tuesday, two great calls to constantly stay plugged in. And then next week, we're going to start to shift our Saturday trainings into a different area. But it's been so much fun doing this. We're going to make a difference this year, and we're going to do it by, how we're going to grow personally and how we're going to help share Alavea to the world.
And just like we're counting down to impact, just like we said, there's 47 days to go. I want to challenge us as a community. Remember what community is with unity. And we talked, I think it was last week, that when you look at that word unity, unity doesn't happen without the U, the N, and the I. So you and I, right? And so let's together, not just Sam, not just Craig and I, not just Steve, like let's all together commit, like we're counting down to impact. 47 days to go. Let's count down to 100 million. Let's count down. Let's start
Mm.
speaking that when we speak to people. Hey, here's the deal. By the end of the year, our company's gonna be unrecognizable because we will have nourished 100 million children. We've got 34 million to go. Like start knowing that. And like you've always said, Craig, what we measure matters. So if we're paying attention to those numbers and speaking out where we're going, it's really going to make a difference in drawing people to that vision and then also keeping us focused on it as well too. So thank you for letting me be a part of
Oh,
these Zooms with you. It's been really, really fun.
oh my goodness. It's been an absolute pleasure and honor. And you're such an incredible, as everybody knows, Christy is such a master trainer, master communicator, and the ability to take any word and break it down like right away is amazing. Like and I love what you just said there. I know we talked about the unity before, but people are still in the chat room going, like, that's so good. Like, that's so good how you do that. So, so much fun. Well, look, everybody, have an amazing week. Have fun, show up. Like Glenda said, get out of bed earlier, and let's make this a fantastic week with Alavea. Let's see who we can go talk to this week and inspire them to kind of look at what we've got going on with Alavea. And you never know who you might meet this week, but it starts with inviting people to the party, as Christy just said. So Christy, we'll look forward to seeing you on the Monday and Tuesday calls. Definitely tune into the love calls, everybody. Tuesday nights at 7:30. And of course, our Monday night call at 7:30. And then we'll see everybody next week at 10 a.m. Central.
Great. Thanks, you guys. Thanks.
Bye. Bye, everybody.